we're going to talk about the battery power or the DC power. On the left, we have the green batteries. These are 12-volt golf cart batteries, deep cell. On the right, we have the black 12-volt deep cycle batteries. And that battery charger I just showed there, that charges the chassis batteries. We have a mechanical cutoff switch on the right for the chassis batteries. I just turned it to red, turned it back to green. It supplies power. The same thing for the house batteries, a mechanical cutoff switch. The center object there, the tech, that is the battery charger for the chassis batteries. Now, just forward of that compartment, we have the compartment with the inverter in it. So this is what's called a charger inverter. If you have 110 volts, it sets 110 volts down to it, and it in turn charges the house batteries, not the chassis batteries, but the house batteries. And if you don't have 110 volts, that charger turns into a inverter, which turns it into 110 volts. And as I explained earlier, on the breaker panel underneath the bed, the 4 or 5 things on the left side of the breaker are controlled by the inverter, and there's the fuse or the breaker for the inverter. So if you plug in something in the chassis in the motorhome and it doesn't work, right here just inside the door we have the control panel for the solenoids. There's 2 solenoids, one for the house batteries, one for the chassis batteries. It's an additional means to cut off power so that you're not wasting batteries or some other purpose. Now we're going to look underneath the driver's seat in the front left. On the very bottom there of that upper panel, you see the 3 solenoids. The one on the left and the one on the right are the ones going to either the chassis or the house. There's all the fuses, and to the right below it labels what fuse goes to what. Now the very top left is the fuse panel for the chassis also. This here is the control panel for the generator. And here I'll show you the generator coming out here momentarily. We'll talk about that right now. Hold on. Alright, while we're in the compartment talking about the fuses, there's also the controller that brings out the generators. We'll talk about it. One way you push it, an electronic motor brings the generator out. This is a 10 kilowatt Caterpillar industrial generator. It'll provide power to run everything you need on the motorhome. All air conditioners, the energy management system will show that the generator is providing power. And there it is. On the very front, there's the breakers. You can see there. Make sure you check the oil. Tell you the truth, I've hardly ever ran this. I've never had a need to run it. But there it is. Alright, back to the 12-volt DC fuse panel. The top left has the fuse panel for the chassis. There's a solenoid for one's for the house, and one of those solenoids is for the chassis, and the other one's for starting. There is the rest of those are fuses or relays. Up top there's the relays. So if you have a fixture that's not working, check the breaker, check the fuses, and check the breaker that's on the inverter, because that may be it also.